والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله آله وأصحابه ومن تمسك بسنته بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, after praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending the salutations upon the Messenger alayhi salatu wassalam, and upon his family and his companions, and upon all those who follow upon his guidance into the establishment of the last day. To proceed, ya ikhwan, اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وربنا زدنا علما والحمد لله رب العالمين. Oh Allah, we ask that you teach us that which will benefit us, that you benefit us with that which you have taught us, and that you increase all of us upon knowledge. And all the praise belongs to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. اللهم اهدنا لأحسن الأخلاق لا يهدي لأحسنها إلا أنت واصرف عنا سيء الأخلاق لا يصرف عنا سيئها إلا أنت. Oh Allah, we ask that you guide us to good character. Verily no one can guide us to good character except you. And we ask that you keep away from us evil character. But verily no one can keep away from us evil character except you. Proceed, يا إخوان. فنواصل معكم في هذه الليلة المباركة الكريمة عونا من الرحمن الرحيم. So we continue in this blessed and noble night of ours, seeking the aid and the assistance of our Lord, the most merciful and the most compassionate. مستفيدين متعلمين من اللغة العربية as we continue to learn and educate ourselves in the science of the Arabic language. The science of the Arabic language. فلأصحاب الكتب, for all those that have the book, لعلنا وصلنا إلى صفحة 64. Perhaps the last page we had the honor to benefit from was page number 64. Page number 64. I believe 64. If someone has a correction, that's okay also. 64 on my side. No. طيب, من يذكرنا بفائدة تعلمناها قبل? Who can give us a benefit that we had the honor to learn previously? The benefit from the perspective, yeah. Oh yeah. We learned a few different types of al-fawaidu. The two different types of طيب, ذكرنا من أنواع الياء. We mentioned from the different types of I believe we mentioned 2 in this book, or so far, or 1 in this book, 1 in the previous book. طيب, من أنواع الياء, from the different types of types of ولعلنا في هذه السلسلة تعلمنا 3 من أنواع الياء. So I believe, Wallahu Alam, that in these series of classes so far, for those that have been with us for a while, we spoke about 3 different types of la. فمنها حرف الجواب. We learned so far حرف الجواب, the particle of answering. الجواب. Replying. حرف الجواب. Our sister says we're actually on page number 73. Oh, not 64. Sorry, but correction, ya ikhwan. We're actually on 73 in my book. 73. Sorry, one of the sorry, afwan. I'm thinking about something else, ya ikhwan. The harf al-jawab. Sorry, not different types of yeah, different types of la. Afwan. Different types of. Huh? I thought the last thing. Sorry, labat. We'll save this bit here, ya ikhwan. I was talking about something different. Right, the two types or the different types of yeah. We learned from here the yeah, our brother reminding us, he says we learned the yeah al-mutakallam. Nah, صح. Yeah al-mutakallam. We learned the yeah of the speaker. Right, yeah al-mutakallam. Where's my lamb? Al-mutakallam. Right, the yeah of the speaker. Yeah of the one speaking. من يأتي بمثال. Who can give us an example يا إخوان of the يا المتكلم. The يا المتكلم. ماذا؟ أعيدي. Say it again. أم عالية تفضلي. طيب قولنا كتابي. Our speech كتابي. My book. My book. طيب هذا الياء هنا ياء المتكلم. This ياء here is the ياء of the speaker. Showing possession. My book. My book. طيب Sister Lacey, مثالا آخر. Give us an example, Sister Lacey, of the ياء المتكلم. قلمي. ما شاء الله. وهذا صحيح. That's correct also. قلمي. My pen. قلمي. جميلا. طيب my pen. طيب whose turn? Who else is with us tonight يا إخوان? Sheikh Muhammad. مثال آخر. Another example. بيتي. My house. My house. بيتي. My house. جميلا. My house. English. My house. طيب ما هو الشاهد هنا؟ Check it. What's the point in all of these examples? وشيكنا كده يا إخوان. طيب I can't see my list. أبو زبير آلية شيكنا كده. طيب أين أم سكينة؟ Where's أم سكينة tonight يا إخوان? I don't know what happened. I used to see my list. If I don't call your name, it doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. I just can't see you. Who else is with us يا إخوان? أبو زبير آلية Sheikh Muhammad Sister Felice. Huh? That's the point. These things belong to you. That's the yeah. Amatullah. طيب. Our sister is saying what? The point is what? That these things belong. That these things, they belong. They show possession. Beiti. Qala. Sharabi. My drink. قلمي. My pen. طيب وأيضا تعلمنا يا النسبي. النسبي. طيب we also learned another type of ya, which is called ya النسبي. or an-nasabi. You can say it both ways. Ya an-nisbi or ya an-nasabi. They both are correct. The ya of relationship. You don't own تمليكه ولكن تعلق نفسك إليه هو. You don't own this thing, but you're connecting yourself to it. It's showing connection, affiliation, uh, relationship. The ya of relation or relationship or connection. طيب. Or affiliation. مثالا على هذا. An example of this يا إخوان قولنا هي طيب هو سني. هو سني. An example of this is the word هو سني. He is a Muslim. He is one who submits to Allah, upholding or upon the sunnah of his messenger alayhi salatu wassalam. هو سني. He is a Sunni Muslim, if you will. One who is following the Quran and Sunnah to the best of her or his ability. Sunni. هذه الياء, this ya here, ليس ياء المتكلم. It's not the ya of the speaker. It's the ya of relationship, connection, affiliation. You're attributing him to he is a Sunni Muslim or Sunni submitter, one who has submit himself to Allah, following the Quran and Sunnah. هل كل مسلم سني? Is every Muslim on the Sunnah? The answer is no. طيب نواصل يا إخوان. Let's begin إن شاء الله. طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كنا على صفحة 73. We made a correction as our sister Alia corrected us. We're actually stopped on 73. 73. Oh, 73. طيب. أيضا يا إخوان لمن يعيش في مدينة فيلادلفيا أو قريبا إلى مدينة فيلادلفيا سيزورنا إن شاء الله تعالى الشيخ من شيوخ العلماء ومن شيوخ أهل السنة والجماعة إلى مسجد الإمام مسلم للعائلة في مدينة فيلادلفيا إن شاء الله تعالى في يوم أحد بإذن الله تعالى. الشيخ لا يأتي. Alright, so we're mentioning, ya ikhwan, anyone living in the Philadelphia area that one of the Mashaykh was coming to visit on Sunday. Our beloved brother, Sheikh Muhammad, said that the flight of the Sheikh was actually canceled. So they have to push the visit of the Sheikh back. So we'll keep everyone posted, inshallah, when the Sheikh intends to come. طيب شكرا يا شيخ. طيب قال صاحب الكتاب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So the author of the book continues. عندنا الحوار. لعلنا قرأنا هذا الحوار. I believe we read this dialogue before. وتوقفنا في وسطه, and we stopped at the beginning or the middle of this حوار, where he says صباح الخير. Good morning يا عمر. Good morning أو عمر. قال عمر صباح النور يا إسماعيل. Umar says, and good morning to you, O Ismail. فذكرنا أن هذا تعبير على الجواز, and we mentioned that this phrase is allowed to say good morning, good night, good day. That's allowed to say, يا إخوان. قال إسماعيل ما هذا. Ismail says, what is this? قال عمر هذا درج. He says, this is a durj, this is a desk, or you could say a drawer, or a desk with a drawer. قال هل هو درجك? Is it your desk? Is it your desk? قال نعم هو درجي. He says yes, this is my درج. طيب, whose turn? Sister Valacy, أي نوعي? What type of yeah is this? Where he says نعم هذا درجي. He says yes, هذا درجي. You got it. متكلم. متكلم. جميلا. طيب, أبو زبير, ذكرنا الاختلاف بين علماء في اللغة عن كلمة هذا. فما هو? We mentioned the اختلاف of the scholars regarding the word هذا. So what's this اختلاف? No. Some scholars say this is actually two words. Some scholars say no, it is one. The word هذا. Some scholars say no, it is two words. كلمتان. كلمتان. That is two words. Where are the two words, يا إخوان? Who remembers? جميلا. Some scholars say it's actually two words. Some say no, it's one. The correct is that it is two. It is two. Some teachers teach that it's one in the beginning to make it easy, but it's actually two words. The first word is the ha. Second word is the tha. Does nothing to the does nothing to the meaning. Certain degree. Does nothing to the translation. It changes it slightly, huh? كلمتان. طيب, correction. Make your فتحة a كسرة. طيب. That's always going to have a كسرة. شكرا. طيب, if you say هذا الرجل, this man. الرجل. It's like you got his attention first when you said ha. You're pointing to something. Ha. It's like a word, a particle of getting someone's attention. Ha, and then the. Hada, this man. You can also take the ha away. And then you can say thou rajulu. Practice with that, ya ikhwan. You're never going to hear that except from the ulama and the students of the Arabic language. Practice with that. Taking the ha away. And just say the al-rajulu. Thou rajulu. This man. Thou rajulu. Take the ha away. And you just have the. Thou rajulu. This man. Same meaning. You didn't do nothing to the translation. You just didn't get his attention when you said it. Thou rajulu. Hada and the. Same meaning. One, you have the ha. The second, you take the ha away. Same meaning. طيب. هذا مفهوم عندكم? You guys all understand? That's understood to all of you? من لا يفهم, who doesn't understand? طيب. فائدة benefit. عندنا هذا الرجل وهذا هو الرجل وهذا رجل. So now we have هذا الرجل, and then we have هذا هو الرجل, and then we have هذا رجل. And you ترجم, who can translate? Who didn't we hear from yet? We translate the first. هذا الرجل. Our sister says, this is the man. Close. تقربتي. Super close. من يعينها. Who can help her out? This man. Ahsant. This man. This man. Our sister says, question. Fadali. Don't necessarily have to translate it as the. Thought it is there. Our sister's asking a good point in translation. Technically, what you said was a sentence in English is not there. And you have this when you translate. You have to bring the meaning in another language. That's all the translator does. And يمسك المعنى وينقل المعنى إلى لغة أخرى. You're going to capture the meaning and then convey the meaning in another language. That's all you're doing. That's it. But this language that you're conveying it in, you have to follow its rules too. That's what many scholars they say, which is correct, but it's a strict statement. Ibn Taymiyyah used to say this. No one can translate from one language to another unless they're proficient in both languages. And that's correct. And I believe he says he has to be knowledgeable. He has to be proficient in both, which is true. Sometimes you find the Arab teaching the Arabic language, what he's saying is correct, but he doesn't have the tools to convey it. And sometimes the Englishman can convey it, but his knowledge of the language may not be there. You have to have knowledge of both. You have to follow the rules of both. So what you're really saying in Arabic is there, but you can't say it in English. So what you're really saying is this, the man. This, the man. Verbatim. This, the man. But you can't say that in English. So therefore, the is omitted. And it becomes this man. طيب. وفيكي. Oh yeah. Next sentence. Whose turn? Alia, تفضلي. ترجمي. Translate. This is the man. الرجل. This is the man. Oh yeah. So here, if you want to separate and you want to say this is the man, the Arab, they add the huwa. هذا هو الرجل. This is the man. Or you can say this, he is the man. No. The first one is more accurate or more, the first one is more understood. The second is more accurate. This is, or this, he is the man, meaning him. So if you want to separate, you have to add that pronoun, huwa. Without the pronoun, it's going to be this man. هذا الرجل. Our sister says, this man, this is the man, and this is a man. Allahu Akbar. Who's that? Sister Zakiya. Ahsant. Oh, yeah. And our third sentence, Sister Zakiya beat us to it. هذا رجل. This is a man. On all three, you can also take away the ha. Practice with that. Same way with the feminine. هذه امرأة. هذه. Where's my alif? امرأة. This is a woman. هذه. Same principle. The ha is added. Start practicing taking away the ha. Don't use it for a week. Don't use it. Get used to not using it. They both are there in the Fusha. They both are there in the original Arabic language. So you say to the feminine, vihi. Fihi imra'atun. Practice it. This is a woman. Fihi. Remember, you're not going to hear it that often, especially in the West. That's okay. You brothers and sisters, be those that revive studying the Arabic language, inshallah. That's our goal. Firstly, for ourselves and our families. Secondly, for our brothers and our sisters. This is a woman. So vihi and that. We'll save the dhalika when we get there, inshallah. طيب. قال ماذا في درجك? He says, what is in your desk? Whose turn? Sheikh Muhammad. لماذا في درجك and not في درجك? Because it's majroor, our scent. It's the noun made genitive by the harfu jar. Our scent. We said fi duruj fi durujika. Fi durujika. We said, why is it fi duruji? Fi durujika. Why is it kasra here? Our brother says because it's a majroor. It's the noun that's made genitive. طيب, whose turn? Sister Valesi. أين مضاف وأين مضاف إليه? Where's the مضاف? Where's the مضاف إليه? And the مضاف إليه? ترجي. تقربتي. Close, super close. Whose turn? أمة الله. أين المضاف? أين المضاف إليه? ماذا أخطأت وأحسنت? You made an error in one and you were correct in another. أين المضاف؟ أين المضاف إليه؟ عالية. أين المضاف؟ أين المضاف إليه؟ And أجبتي صوبتي أخطأتي. You answered, you were correct, then you were correct again, and then you were wrong. أين المضاف؟ أين المضاف? Whose turn? أبو زبير. أين المضاف؟ أين المضاف إليه؟ صوبت وأخطأت. Our brother answered correctly for one and incorrectly for the other. Sheikh Muhammad. أين المضاف؟ أين المضاف إليه؟ أحسنت جميلا. Pay attention here يا إخوان. دورج is the مضاف. It's the object that it's the object. دورج. Or you can say دورجي. دورجي here is the مضاف. It's the object. So you're going to say مضاف. The مضاف. Something that's going to be attributed to someone else. Here's an object that's attributed. So who is it attributed to? The kaf. So the kaf is the mudaf ilay. المضاف. Now the mudaf ilay is the kaf. The kaf. Some of you were right there. Some of you answered and then changed when you got the fee. And fi is harfu jar. Fi is a preposition. So durji is the object. Whoever possesses the object or whoever the object is attributed to is the mudaf ilay. So that's the kaf, harful khitab. It's a particle of addressing someone. Your desk. So we have harful jar, and then we have the mudaf, and then we have the mudaf ilay. Ahsantum. طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The author continues. He says كتاب وقلم, a book and a pen. هل عندك دفتر? Do you notebook? طيب توقفنا عند كلمة عند. We stop at the word عند as far as our benefits. He says هل عندك دفتر? He says هل عندك قلم? دفتر عفوا. دفتر. He says, do you have a notebook? هل عندك دفتر? Do you have a notebook? طيب كلمة عند. We stop at the word عند. عند. We give a benefit of عند. Or عندك. لا بأس. Now عندك has a few different meanings. From them, it means with you. Or you can say you have. We mentioned one way to ask a question by using this particle. By saying عندي سؤال. One of the easiest way to ask or to mention to someone, I have a question. عندي سؤال. And then we gave an even easier way to say that. Where's my wow? عندي سؤال. I have a question. With me is a question, meaning I have a question. سؤال. عندي سؤال. You're in class. Our sister just said سؤال. She said it an even easier way. We gave you a few different ways to say it. I have a question. Or with me is a question. Same meaning, different way to translate it. You can also say what's implied. And this is the one we mentioned, or we learned some time ago. We learned 3 different ways. Indi su'al. And to take away the indi, and just say su'alan. Or you can say su'alun. Same meaning. They both are implied. If you just say, you're in class, as some of you do, and you say su'alan. Su'alan. Now here it doesn't mean I have a question. It's more like, can I ask a question? Because it's mansoob. This is the maf'ul mutlaq. So here it doesn't mean I have a question. If you say it mansooban, accusatively, or in the accusative case, it's more like, can I ask a question? Or can I pose a question? It has maf'ulun bi. So the can I ask is implied because you made a mansoob. So can I ask? Can I put forth? Anything like that to make it mansoob. If you keep it marfu', it'll mean I have a question. If you say su'alun, just keep it marfu'. Don't make it mansoob. If you make it mansoob, it's implied that it's the maf'ulun bi, or not the maf'ulun bi, it's the maf'ulun mutlaq. It could be the maf'ulun bi. Now, as'aluka su'alan. There will be the maf'ulun mutlaq. If you say uqaddimu ilayka su'alan, then it will be the maf'ulun bi. Right. You can also say, make it marfu', keep it nominative. And you say, su'alun. Su'alun. Now that's implied, I have a question. Su'alun, making a mansub will be easier, but they both are allowed. You can imply things in Arabic. I have a question. Su'alun or su'alan. Su'alan is better. It's the maf'ulun mutlaq or the maf'ulun bi. Wallahu alam. طيب, back to inda. We'll give you a tremendous way to use inda, a high level grammar. This is your 5th year of grammar. We'll try to sum it up in 2 minutes. Inshallah. طيب, this is after ajurumiyya, after qatr nida. This is down the road. طيب, we just mentioned as a benefit. If you say to someone, indaka, it can also be used in a way that's high level in grammar. It's called it's called ism fi'lu amr. It's a noun that's used as a command form verb. So it's going to have the meaning of khudh. Khudh. It's going to have the meaning of take. So now it's a whole different word. Together, it's a noun that is used command form verb. So you say to someone, عندك الكتاب. You say to someone, عندك الكتاب. Take the book. عندك is one word. And we're using it differently. عندك الكتاب, meaning take the book. What you said was خذ الكتاب. Take the book. You're talking to someone. It be masculine or feminine. It doesn't matter. You're using it like a command form verb. So it doesn't have to follow the same concept of the structure. If you're talking to a female, you're talking to a male, you're talking to 2, you're talking to 3. It's the same. That part doesn't change. So عندك الكتاب. What you said was take the book. That's a benefit of عندك. We'll get to that later, inshallah, when we introduce grammar. Right now, we just do point by point. We're not really studying grammar. We just throw out some benefits from time to time, following the author of the book. So the next word he says is na'am. Khud al-daftar. So he says, yes, I have a notebook. And then he says, take the notebook. Using the same word. He says, na'am, yes, I have a notebook. Khud al-kitab. Take the book. So the word khud, you can say indaka. That's a high level grammar. If you don't get it now, it's going to come later, especially when we get into grammar. Inshallah. So he says, yes, take the book. So the word take, you can say indaka. Practice with that, ya ikhwan. One of the hardest things to practice, not only a language, but the rules of the language, because there's no one to talk to, there's no one to practice with. So we always encourage that you speak more Arabic, listen to more Arabic. By now, all of you, from what I see of you, wallahu alam, علينا أن نكثر في استماع الحلقات العلماء في العربية ومحاضرة العلماء في العربية ودروس العلماء وغير العلماء في العربية. By now, what I see from you, from all of you so far, is we should all be increasing ourselves in listening to the lectures in Arabic. listening to the lectures of the scholars, more so in Arabic. Listen to more of the students of knowledge, more so in Arabic. When you go online and you search for lectures and classes, where you guys' level is, in my opinion, you should increase more in Arabic, where you're listening to Arabic. One of the best ways to train your hearing, we'll call you back inshallah after class, is to listen more. And you can listen to a sheikh over and over and over, no problem. You can take one lesson and just keep listening. You're trying to train your ear. And we have to get back to that. We used to do that more. We just play the sheikh and we just listen to him and take some benefit from the words that we derive. That's a benefit, ya ikhwan. Speaking is one thing, comprehension is another thing. Hearing what the sheikh is saying and then recalling it is a whole nother level. There's only one way to do that, and that's it, by listening, to train your ear. To train your ear. طيب. Then he says, shukran. طيب. Thank you. طيب. التمرين الأول, exercise number 1. استمع وردد. Listen and repeat. Listen and repeat. طيب. Abu Zubayr, I'll say you say it. هذا. طيب. ما هذا. هذا كتاب. جميلا. Says the Valisi, I'll say you say it. ما هذا. Good. What is this? هذا كتاب. This is a book. جميلا. Sheikh Muhammad, I'll say you say it. ما هذا. هذا كتاب. جميل. طيب. عالية, ما هذا. هذا كتاب. جميلا. أمة الله, ما هذا. هذا كتاب. جميل. أحسنتم. طيب. عندنا قلم, دفتر, درج, باب, كرسي, مقعد. طيب. Now we have 6 words. طيب. The first word we're going to use is دفتر. This is our word, يا إخوان. دفتر. We're going to answer in the negative. دفتر. We're going to answer in the negative. I'm going to ask you, is this a daftar? You're going to say, لا. هذا ليس دفتر. Or ليس بدفتر. We mentioned 2 ways with ليس. I want you to say it 1 or 2 ways. You're going to say, لا. هذا ليس. Let's practice it 1 way first, and then we'll do it the second way second. You're going to say, لا. هذا ليس دفترا. Do the easiest way first. You're going to say لا. هذا ليس. هذا ليس دفترا. You're going to say no. That this is not a notebook. Right? So we're going to practice with the negative first. I'm going to ask you. You're going to deny it. And we're going to use this phrase, ليس دفترا. This is our phrase we're going to practice with, inshallah. طيب. Who's first? Abu Zubayr. هل هذا دفتر؟
لا, هذا ليس دفترا.
Good. Sheikh Muhammad, هل هذا دفتر؟ جميلا. طيب. Sister Valisi, هل هذا دفتر؟
لا, هذا ليس دفترا.
ما شاء الله. جميلا. أمة الله, هل هذا دفتر؟
لا, هذا ليس دفترا.
جميلا. عالية, هل هذا دفتر؟ طيب جميلا. Now we're going to practice with the way you barely hear. Same meaning, just a different structure. You're going to say لا هذا ليس بي. Same meaning. We just added the ba. ليس بي دفتر. Now it changes because of the structure. First it was ليس دفترا because of ليس. Now we're going to add the حرف الجر. ليس بي دفتر. So it's going to change slightly. I want you to practice with both. Does nothing to the meaning. There's two ways to use it. The laysa comes without the ba, and the laysa can come with the ba. طيب. So now we're going to say لا هذا ليس بي دفتر. Our sister says Sakina, Ibrahim, and our sister Nadira is also present. I apologize once again. As I mentioned, I can't see my list. It must be something I did in the settings. So I can't see who's there. So our sister reminds us that Sakina is here, Ibrahim is there, and our sister Nadira is also here. Once again, if I don't call on you, I'm not trying to not call on you. Our sister says, what is the translation of both sentences? MashaAllah. I just don't see you. Who's there? So I can call on more people. Oh yeah, the translation of both is the same. No, this is not a notebook. I'm asking you, is this a notebook? You're going to say no, this is not a notebook. So we did هذا ليس دفترا, and now we're saying ليس B. Same meaning. We just added that حرف الجر. So I want you to practice with both. So now we do the same. Let's change our I'll tell you, let's do it this way first, and then we'll change our word. I'm going to ask you, هل هذا دفتر? Is this a notebook? You're going to say لا هذا ليس بدفتر. No, this is not a notebook. Same meaning, just two different ways to say it. That's it. طيب, whose turn? Sheikh Muhammad. هل هذا دفتر? MashaAllah. Just like that, ya ikhwan. Abu Zubayr. هل هذا دفتر? جميلا, أحسنت. Sister Valaisi. هل هذا دفتر? MashaAllah. جميلا, أحسنتي. عليا. هل هذا دفتر? MashaAllah, أحسنتي. أمة الله. هل هذا دفتر؟ جميلا. Our sister says, I have a question. How do you say it in Arabic? MashaAllah, جميلا. تفضلي. Our sister says, on your daftar, you don't have a sukoon. And that's correct. That should be a sukoon. Accent. Be daftarin. Naam, that should be a sukoon. Shukran. طيب, سكينة. هل هذا دفتر؟
لا هذا ليس بدفتر.
ما شاء الله, أحسنتي. إبراهيم. هل هذا دفتر؟ أين إبراهيم ذهب؟ طيب, our sister Nadira. هل هذا طيب, هل هذا دفتر؟
لا هذا ليس بدفتر.
ما شاء الله, أحسنتي, أحسنتي. طيب, we're going to do the same thing, يا إخوان. We're going to try to go through quickly. We have a few words. طيب, our next word is Durujun. Durujun. We're going to do the same thing. Our word is durujun, the desk. Alright. We're going to say hal. Alright. We're going to say hal. هذا durujun. First, I want you to affirm it. Naam, هذا durujun. Is this a desk? First, I want you to affirm it. You're going to say naam. Don't stop there. Say the complete Arabic. You're going to say naam. Huwa. You can say huwa. Or we also learn hada. And we also learn dhalika. You can practice, ya ikhwan. You don't have to say the same thing over and over and over. So you can say huwa, hada, dhalika, durujun. It's up to you. They all are correct. Yes, it is. Yes, this is. Yes, that is a durujun. All of them are correct. One of the best ways to practice by using what you learn. I'm going to say hal hada durujun. You can either say yes, this is, or yes, it is, or yes, that is. Durujun. It's up to you. طيب أبو زبير هل هذا درج؟ جميلا. شيخ محمد هل هذا درج؟ جميلا. سيستر فاليسي هل هذا درج؟ ما شاء الله. حسين عالية هل هذا درج؟ هل هذا درج؟ طيب أمة الله هل هذا درج؟
نعم.
جميلا. سكينة هل هو درج؟ ما شاء الله. إبراهيم هل ذلك درج؟ I think Ibrahim got bumped off here. Our sister Nadira هل هذا درج؟
نعم هو درج.
ما شاء الله. أحسنتي. طيب. So now I want you to practice with the next words. قلم دفتر درج باب كرسي مقعد. So I want you to practice. We're going to save some time. I want you to practice for homework with these list of words. Babun, a door. And we have kursiyun. You do the same thing. I just want you to practice with it. A chair. Maq'adun, a chair. A couch. Could be a love seat. Could be a chair. Alright, we did daftarun. Our last one was kitabun. So you're gonna practice with each. ما هذا؟ هذا باب. هل هذا باب؟ نعم هذا باب. And then deny it. لا ليس بابا. So you practice both ways, or all three ways. Alright, let's continue inshallah, get some more benefit. He says الفصل, in the class. Alright, who can read the first word? Sheikh Muhammad, اقرأ الأولى. First word. Should be better. Let me take my image. Do you see it better now? But I'm highlight. Hey, haqibatun. First word, haqibatun. Haqiba has a few meanings. It could be that little purse that the girls carry. They have so many of them nowadays. 25, 35, 45 bags. I'll make it easy. Right, haqibatun. It could be a handbag. You can say that. Right? It can also be, or you may say a purse. It can also be a briefcase. Can, huh? Say it. Say it again. Afwan. I have a correction to make, ya Ikhwan. What did I have? My bad should be. My bad should be a cough. 1 second, Afwan. Change this bad to a cough. Now, haqibatun. You can say handbag, a briefcase, it can be a laptop bag. It can also be like suitcase, like luggage. It can also be suitcase, like luggage, like a bag. It could be a woman's handbag, it could be a book bag. It can also be suitcase. Our next word. أستاذ أبو زبير تفضل. كراسة. MashaAllah. Kurasa, as we mentioned, is a daftar. Now, some make a difference. They say the kurasa is the one that has the lines. Like, you ever seen the composition book that has the little lines? Some scholars are even more detailed. They both say they're the same. They both are notebooks. But some describe the daftar, the daftar as having the lines. Wallahu alam. But they both are notebooks. So we'll say daftar is a notebook. Daftar is a karrasa. Karrasa. Notebooks. Let's make it easy. Daftarun is karrasatun. I want you to practice using both. Same meaning. A note. Huh? Should be a dhamma. What do I have? I have a fatha. Kurrasa. Naam. Kurrasatun. Naam. Alright, practice with both. Notebook. Don't always say daftar. Don't always say kurrasa. In Saudiya, and this is a benefit of traveling, some words are more common from country to, we may say hood to hood. Well, one from our projects we lived in, we had a slang. When we go to 60th Street, they had a different slang. So how much more so country to country? Some of it is slang. I wouldn't say use it, but some of it is original Arabic. In some countries, you hear certain things. In Saudiya, they use kurrasa a lot. In the Khalij. In Egypt, they use both. In Yemen, they use both. At any rate, both of them are correct to use. Next word, whose turn? Sister Valesi. Fadali. MashaAllah. Mistaratun. Mistara is a ruler. A ruler. Mistara. Ra-tun. Mistara. Ta. Mistara. Mistaratun. A ruler. In Yemen, when you don't do your homework, the teacher may hit you with the mistara. Not to harm you, but as an encouragement, can also be a punishment. You didn't do your work, hold your hand out. And you see them little bad little kids, and they shake, taps their little hand. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't work. You have to know your audience. You have to know the people in front of you. And that's from giving da'wah and teaching also. Sometimes you being too strict is going to harm them. Sometimes you being too playful is going to harm them. Sometimes you have to be right in the middle. You're only going to be in the middle when you know the people. You're too hard on your wife, she's not going to come home. You're too leaning on the wife, she's never going to come home. You have to be in the middle. Likewise with a husband. You want to be too strict, no, he's not going to come back. You don't want to be too lenient. He's not going to come back. You want to be in the middle. You want to remind in the middle. One of the best ways to do that is to know your people, to know your audience. Likewise in a class, everything can't be about jokes. You're going to harm them. Everything can't be so strict. No, sit up straight all the time. You have to know when it's time to be jaddan and when it's time to be mudahikan. And that's from giving dawah also. Sometimes the Prophet would smile. Sometimes the Prophet wouldn't smile. Sometimes the companions would laugh. Sometimes they wouldn't laugh. There's a time for this and there's a time for that. Some conversations, it's best that you don't get in them. And sometimes it's best that you do get in them for a moment. And then you may leave it. Alhamdulillah. To know when do I talk, when do I not talk. Some questions come to you. Ya akhi, what do you say about this? Allahu alam. But you have the answer. Yes, Allah knows best. I don't have nothing to say about that here. Sometimes you have the answer, you give it. You don't have the answer, you never give it. Don't be those students that I don't know, but. No, be aware of but. Beware of but, ya ikhwan. Not the but, the body part, but the word but. I don't know, but. I never studied that, but. I've never learned that issue, but. No, beware of but. Don't be afraid to say when you don't know, I don't know. The true student of knowledge, when he knows, he's going to give what he knows. But when he doesn't know, he's not afraid. He's not shy to say, I don't know. كان رجلا جاء إلى الإمام مالك رحمه الله تعالى وسأله عدة سؤال. قال بعض الرواة سأله أكثر من 50 سؤالا. There was a man, he came to Imam Malik and he asked him a series of questions. Some people, they say he asked him over 50 questions. He sat with him some days, a week or so. Question after question after question after question. He came to Imam Malik to ask him questions for him and his family, his people, his village. فقال إمام مالك لبعضها أجاب ولمعظمها قال الله أعلم لا أدري لست أدري الله أعلم الله أعلم. So he answered some of them, and most of them he said, I don't know. I don't know. I never heard of that. Allah knows best. فالرجل لعل هذا يستغربه. So the man, perhaps this amazed him. You're the Imam of Ahl Sunnah and you don't know? فقال يا إمام وجدت إليك لأسألك عدة سؤال ولمعظمها قلت الله أعلم الله أعلم ماذا أقول لقومي. So the man said, Ya Imam, I came to you to ask you questions. To most of you, you said, I don't know. I don't know. What am I going to go back and tell my people? قال الإمام مالك ارجع إليهم وقل لهم قال الإمام مالك لا أدري. The man said, go back to your people and tell your people that Malik ibn Anas said, I don't know. So this great Imam can say, I don't know. وقبله النبي عليه السلام. And before that, the Prophet of Allah. وقبل النبي الملائكة. And before the Prophet of Allah, the angels. If the Prophet can say, I don't know, and the angels can say, I don't know, and the great Imams can say, I don't know, why are we so shy to say, I don't know? You don't have to rush to answer questions. You can say, I don't know. That's honorable. قال حسن البصري قول لا أدري نصف العلم. Hasan al-Basri used to say, saying I don't know is half of knowledge. You never studied that issue? You can't talk about it. I never learned that hadith. How can I talk about it? I never heard the scholars say about this issue. How can I speak about it? You say, I don't know. Let's finish the dialogue, ya ikhwan. Let's take one more word first from the new words, and then we'll start our reading. Whose turn? Ali, اتفضلي. ورقة. The word ورقة has a few different يا إخوان. ورقة. Waraqa is a leaf from a tree. Leaf. You know a leaf, ya ikhwan? Waraqa. A leaf. Waraqa. A leaf of a tree. It can also be a piece of paper, a sheet or a piece of paper. So you can say a leaf. You can also say a piece, a sheet of paper. Waraqa. At the newspaper, a single paper, single page, a sheet of paper. It's called the waraqa. The newspaper is another word, al-sahifa. All right, let's read this dialogue, ya ikhwan. We'll read it 2 times, or we'll try our best to let everyone else read, and then we'll close out, inshallah, and we'll continue بإذن ta'ala in the next class. طيب. هذا الحوار بين عائشة وفاطمة. So now we have Aisha and Fatima. Aisha and Fatima. We'll let our mothers begin, as this one is for the women. طيب. Aliya and Amatullah. Amatullah, you be Aisha. Ali be Fatima.
مساء الخير يا فاطمة.
Good.
مساء النور يا عائشة.
MashaAllah. So she says, good evening, O Fatima. Good evening, O Aisha. Good. Good. It says, what is this? This is a briefcase or suitcase. Good. Good. Is it your bag? Yes, it is my bag. Good. Good. So she says, and what is in your bag or your suitcase or your luggage? She says, a notebook, a ruler, ومساحة, and an eraser. فضلا. Good. She says, do you have a piece of paper? Yes. Take the paper. Aisha? So she says, thank you. Perhaps the lady said Afwan. The author just didn't mention that. طيب. Sakina and Sister Valaisi. تفضلا. Aisha can be, Sister Valaisi can be Aisha. Sakina can be Fatima. Good. 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 أحسنتما. تفضلا. في. Take your alif lam away. Good. MashaAllah. جميلة. تفضلا. Good. جميلة. أحسنتما. Last sentence. Aisha too. Good. طيب. Sheikh Muhammad, Abu Zubayr. Sheikh Muhammad, you be Aisha. Abu Zubayr, you be Fatima.
طيب مساء الخير يا فاطمة.
Yeah,
مساء النور يا عائشة.
yeah,
ما هذه؟ هذه حقيبة.
yeah,
هل هي حقيبتي؟
yeah,
نعم هي حقيبتي.
yeah.
وماذا في حقيبتي؟ فراسة ومسطرات ومساحة.
Yeah,
هل عندك ورقة؟
yeah.
نعم خذ ورقة.
جميلا.
شكرا.
أحسنتم يا إخوان. Anyone else that I didn't allow to read that I can't see who's here, ya إخوان? Did everyone read? Sister Nadira didn't read. Did Ibrahim return, ya إخوان?
نعم.
Hey, كيف أنت يا أخي? طيب. So we have Ibrahim and our sister Nadira. Will be our last readers, inshallah. Alright. Sister Nadira, you can be Aisha. Ibrahim, you be Fatima.
مساء الخير يا فاطمة.
Good.
مساء النور يا عائشة.
Good.
ما هذه؟
Good.
هذه عاقبتي.
Inshallah.
عاقبتي.
Good.
هل هي عاقبتي؟
Good.
نعم هي عاقبتي.
Good.
وماذا في عاقبتك؟
Good.
فراسة ومسطرة ومساحة.
Good.
هل عندك ورقة؟
Good.
نعم خذي ورقة.
Good.
شكرا.
طيب. Alright, son. Anyone else didn't read it, Juan? As I can't see my list of everyone that's here tonight. If there's anyone else that didn't read, I think that's everyone. Did I miss anyone? طيب. كل هذه الكلمة محفوظة عندنا بحمد الله. So all of the words we had the honor to learn by Allah's permission. طيب. وفي هذه الليلة تعلمنا 3 كلمات جديدة. So tonight we learned 3 new words. Perhaps they were new to some of us. If it's not new, you don't have to write them. Only the new words. Some of the words we give you, if you already know them, you don't have to write them again. But if you don't know them, we want you to write them 25 times each. From these new words, kurasatun bima'na daftar, which means daftar. We're going to write kurasa, means daftar, a notebook. Only if it's new to you. If it's new to you, I want you to be honest. If this is your first time hearing this word, I want you to write it 10 times. A notebook, 25 times. Remember, ya Ikhwan, your first 2 years of Arabic, if you're real diligent and you have an impeccable memory, maybe your first year, no problem. Usually, our first 2 years of Arabic, the main focus is vocabulary. So, our second word for tonight is mistaratun. 25 times each if it's new to you. Mistaratun. Mistaratun. Mistaratun is a ruler. It can be a metal ruler. It can be a wooden ruler. At any rate, a ruler. A ruler. Not the ruler like a king. The ruler in arithmetic, in class, in school. And also masaha. Masaha, a few different ways you can pronounce it. A couple different words. You can say masaha. That's the common way. You can also say samaha. تفضلي. نعم. Our word, what's your second word? Mimsahun? No. Mimhatun. Mimhatun. I'll have to check that one. Mimhatun. There's another word, ya ikhwan. Mimsahatun. You can say that also. This word here is new to me. I can check and see if that's fusha also. Perhaps it is. I just don't know that word, ya ikhwan. At any rate, there are a few different ways you can say it. Masaha, samaha, mimsaha is another one. There are many. Mimsaha. And all of these, as far as I know, except for, not that I'm saying it's not, I don't know that third word that Ali mentioned. Mimsaha. We just have to check that one. Perhaps it's fusha also. Mimsaha. All of these are an eraser. An eraser. Mimhatun. What did I write it with? Tab maftuha. طيب ممحاتun. طيب. So all of these mean an eraser. An eraser. So they're different. Like in English, ya ikhwan, Arabic is even more vast. A word can have a few different pronunciations. A word can be, they can have different synonyms. Same thing in Arabic. And we also learned a grammatical benefit of an indaka. I want you to practice with that. Indaka can also mean to take. You're commanding someone to take something. So it can mean to take, and it can also mean with you. A few different ways you can use it. Indaka can mean to take, can also mean you have. You have. Alright, so we'll stop there, inshallah. If anyone has anything to mention, they can do so. If not, we'll stop there, inshallah. You have. Alright. Any of our brothers on the YouTube have any questions? Alright, so we explain or derive some benefit from this dialogue in the next class. And we'll stop there, inshallah. And hopefully we'll hear from our brother Muhammad. Will keep us posted if there's any information about the Sheikh's new arrival time, if they're going to postpone it, if so, how far, how long, and we'll keep everyone abreast to that. فَنَسَبْتُ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ وَنَخْتَطُفْ مِنْ نَفْسِي. Anything we said that's correct is from Allah. Anything we said that's incorrect is from ourselves. And may Allah bless you all, ya ikhwan. Keep up the good work. May Allah teach us all this blessed language and increase all of us upon knowledge. وسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.